Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I've got a special treat for you guys. I joined the Monk 52 on his live stream yesterday, and we just happened to have a special guest as well, Luscious Lover, who is a Twitch streamer. You guys know Monk is on YouTube. I will leave a link to both of their channels down in the description below so that you guys can check them out. Give them some of that Spartan love that we know and we like to share. So, what are we doing? Well, we jumped in a triple Kansas division, and the Fates approved. They're like, you know what? They're in a triple Kansas, they're doing the memes, let's give them the ultimate meme game. And so they spawned us mid on two brothers, practically daring us to go up the middle. And y'all know me. I ain't one to turn down going up the middle on two brothers. I don't care what ship I'm in. By the way, I'm not saying this is a good idea. This is a terrible idea. Okay, this is a terrible ship and a terrible idea to be trying to go up the middle in. All right, I'm not advocating for most people to do this. However, it's a lot of fun. And this match has 3 destroyers, which could end horribly. But thankfully, we are actually going to have one of our teammates do something incredibly great. And we're going to talk about that when it happens. But for now, let the memes begin. We're going up the middle. We're going to do it. We're channeling our inner Flambash. You guys know I love me some Flambash. Y'all know it. So any chance I get to go up the middle, I like to do it. You never know. It doesn't work out every time. But when it does, it's glorious. And it's one of the most fun things that I've done in World of Warships. Oh, hello, Bismarck. How are you? I think I'll take that shot. Also, Monk is about to say hello to the Iowa by just running right into me, unfortunately. But first shot out, front guns only, 8,500 damage to the Bismarck. Monk, on the other hand, says hello to the Iowa, and it looks like he did about 15k. Didn't really get a chance to really look, but that looked like a 15k salvo to me. 12 to 15 at least. All right. But anyway, you're gonna notice that we're not the only ones going up the middle. The whole team seems to want to go up the middle, which is an even worse thing to do. Okay, this is a terrible idea. And if I was a destroyer on the enemy team right now, I'd be salivating. Because we've been spotted. Alright, we've been seen coming up the middle. They know we're coming. And if I was a destroyer on the enemy team, I'd be on the other side of this channel just waiting to dump all the demon fish into this gap. You're gonna hit something. You're gonna hit multiple somethings. There's just too many ships in here to dodge. Like, it's gonna be just absolute devastation if they do it. Fortunately, that's not what happens. Fortunately, the enemy DDs end up going around the outsides, which is perfect for us. But it also could have ended horribly. They could have easily capped this base if it wasn't for the fact that we have a friendly mines at the back of the map. And this mines is no dummy. He saw every one of us going up the middle. He knows that he cannot possibly put himself in a bad position, because if he does, he's a dead man and he's got no support. He's got a DD out there spotting for him, which is nice, so he gets to sit behind the island, do the best that he can to try to burn those guys down. But at the end of the day, if he's just the only one over there, he's not long for this world if he gets spotted, right? Fortunately, our DDs are pushing up the edges. Unfortunately, the left side has completely collapsed. Surprise, surprise, surprise to no one, right? Like, we knew it was coming. You can't send everybody up the middle and expect your flanks to hold. More often than not, they're going to fail. And I can't blame them. And this game is over. And you'll notice immediately when I recognize that the flank fails, I hit defend the base. I already know what's happening. These destroyers are going to go straight to our base. It's going to be down to that cruiser to defend the cap against the destroyers. And it's the perfect cruiser to defend the cap against them. It is literally a mines. It is one of the best cruisers at hunting destroyers. It has a long-range sonar that's capable of detecting the destroyers from range in their smoke, and it can absolutely annihilate destroyers with that ridiculous HE that we all love to hate, and its ridiculous fire rate. Like, it is like the perfect ship to protect our base from those destroyers. But not only that, our destroyer has gone back as well. This is the perfect scenario for this sort of push. And our team is like, okay, we're going to go whole ham here. Now, normally you don't push out into this and spread out like we're about to. But in certain situations, you don't have a choice. When you got this many ships in this little gap, you have to push out. You have to try to get rid of people. You have to. Unfortunately for Monk, he pushes out a little too early, and he's about to eat Kagero torps, and that's going to end his game pretty early. Actually, I think he survives the initial torps, and he survives a surprising long amount of time here. Iowa, though, broadside to a Kansas. I mean, that's never going to end well. And we hit him for 11 shells. 11 out of 12 shells hit that man. That's a paddling. That wasn't even Citadels, guys. That was just raw damage potential. But Bismarck comes out. I look over at him. He's actually about to die to these torps. But the Kagero's right there. 7 seconds. Unfortunately, our battleship dies. Our Ruprecht dies before I'm able to get a shot on that destroyer. And that's not good. That is what we call no bueno, okay? Now, as you can see, Monk is actually surprisingly doing pretty well. Given the fact that he took so many torpedoes, I thought he was going to be dead. He thought he was going to be dead too. But we have a broadside Republic, and we're just going to slap him. I mean, you can't, I don't care what ship you're in, you cannot give a Kansas this angle. You can't do it. Kansas will ruin you very quickly. I don't care what ship you're in. Republic's very lucky he didn't get Citadel, because he'd already be dead. But it doesn't matter. He stays broadside here. We're going to slap him again. But I think he does start to turn away. You can see he is heading away, and he's like, oh, just turn away. But unfortunately, Republic, as we've mentioned in the past, has a ridiculously large superstructure, much like the Americans and Germans. So Kansas is going to feast on that. 15,000 damage by hitting the superstructure. Ridiculous, right? It's like Kansas just does not care. But notice what I'm doing. I've already been shot from the left side of the map, so I'm trying to angle against both the Republic and the battleships to my left, and there's an Iowa out there on my right. This is bad, but there's also a destroyer out here. We knew that was coming. We knew the torps were on their way. He gets spotted here, and I'm like, okay, immediately. You see destroyer, shoot destroyer, right? So we immediately turn our guns, get the snapshot off, and we slap the crap out of him, leaving him with just enough, of course, to get away. Fortunately, we do have a destroyer right here, ready to counter the guy who should easily be able to finish the Kagero off. He is struggling a little bit, I'll be honest, but it's just a matter of time. Kagero's in trouble. He goes down. That leaves the Iowa there. The Republic is still alive. Honestly, Iowa's a very dangerous ship, but Republic is absolutely devastating if left unchecked. So we got to try to finish him off here. We use the rear guns, then we turn out, we get the front guns, and this is another one of those situations where we just have to leave everybody alive. We're not allowed to kill people. We just leave them alive. And then, of course, the Vanguard on my left is like, okay, we have a Kansas, but notice I'm not trying to turn back into him. Remember, when you're in a turn in a battleship, it takes so long to turn back against yourself. The rudder shift is terrible in battleships. So a lot of times, it's just better to continue the turn. Get turned away. You're already turning that direction, just keep the turn going, and you will angle much faster against the shells that are coming in. You can see, he still blasts us, and he knocks out one of our front guns, unfortunately. Fortunately, it is a loaded gun, so as soon as it gets fixed, we'll have a loaded gun here. But he does get to live a little longer, and now we're angled pretty well against the 15-inch guns of the Vanguard. We're angled pretty well against the Iowa. And the Chappie here is actually the bigger threat. I mean, sure, Vanguard's a threat, but you can see front guns, we smack him in the superstructure. Rear guns are about to be loaded here. We're going to hit that superstructure again. I want to shoot one gun because I want to be able to use the other for the Chappie. Remember, we still have two guns here. One of them was loaded when it was broken. So we have two guns available. Chappie is not spotted, so what do? I use my spotter plane. He's close enough that when he fires, the spotter plane will keep him spotted for me. And that's going to allow me to counter him. He was doing really well hiding behind the island, but unfortunately for him, I have big brain, and I can use it occasionally. All of my 2 brain cells were working in concert for this one. I'm not going to lie. And we get the Pitadel. Of course we do. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this. By the way, if you didn't notice, the mines actually saved that game. I told you guys. That mines was the only reason we won this game. He protected the base, him and the destroyer defended the cap, and ended up winning that match for us. Sure, we all had fun, but that was a loss if that mines didn't defend the cap. So let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy this as much as I did? Because I know I enjoyed the crap out of this game. You guys know I like a good meme game. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.